I wish that I could say like, oh, I'm this brilliant director that crafted those performances, and I would whisper metaphors into their ears, and they would just like discover who the character was in the moment. But it's just you just hire two amazing actors, and you just sit back and you just let them do their thing. You know, like Sophie's movements. Like we didn't have a discussion about like how she moves, and like it's like this delicate balance of like it's off, but it's not off. Like her just her walking. And I remember when she first did that, I was like, God, Sophie walks weird. It didn't even occur to me because she's such a good actress. It didn't even occur to me that was intentional. And then realizing, oh, wait a minute, this is someone that understands the character down to like every little movement.
Hey, Drew, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
We are doing so well. We're so grateful for you sharing your time with us today. We had such a great time.
Oh, great.
With this movie, and I know we have 5 minutes, but we're going to cram as much as we can into this for you. There's so much to talk about.
Yeah, let's do it.
Drew, when you first started working on this project, were you ever at any point kind of thinking, cool, this is where AI would be and how prevalent it would be kind of in our day-to-day lives?
Yeah, I mean, I tried to limit the amount of research I did, not just because I didn't want to turn this into like an Ex Machina story where it's bogged down. I love that movie, but it is like there's a lot of inside baseball stuff about Turing tests, and I wanted to approach it more from the emotional perspective. But I also think that might have been a way to like, not get too scared about what the future would be if like you go down that rabbit hole and you figure out like, oh, this is like, this is actually a technology that's not that far away, where robots will start looking like human beings. And from my limited research, like I kept landing on this number of 15 years. I'm like, oh my gosh, 15 years for that, really? Like the way that technology is moving, it's you can't keep up. But yeah, it's scary to think about, like, like how fast we're moving. Like I feel like I check ChatGPT like every day to see how good it is and how afraid I need to be about my job as a writer.
It's funny you say that though, because I think what we love so much about Companion is how natural it does feel. It never feels like you are being weighed down by this technology or anything like that. And even for myself, I went into this movie not watching the trailer, which is something
Good for you.
Rarely do.
Thank you for doing that.
So for that experience, it's so fun to see that. And when you have that moment where you're just like Iris, turn off. You're just like, hold on, what just happened? And I think that's so cool to go into a movie that way. So I'm curious for you. When you're watching films, is that something that you often think about? Do you try and avoid trailers as well, or do you go into things knowing as much as you can sometimes?
Well, it's a blessing and a curse. I love trailers. I just think they're their own art form. Like, like I would love to just go into movies blind, but I also want to know, like, who directed this? Like, who's in this? Like what are the like, is this, I need to get a sense of like, am I in capable hands? And so I would love to just be surprised, but I've been burned so many times by doing that. Like, okay, I'll try this one where I don't know anything about it and it's just a bad movie. I'm like, well, what was the point on that? Like I spent so much energy. It takes so much energy not to like watch a trailer or hear, if someone's talking about the movie, be like, no. Yeah. I want to see movies pure, but I also, I feel like I can't.
I had that opportunity of watching the first teaser when it came out, and it was so unique and exciting. And I was like, okay, I need to know what happens next. And I think when you get that scene in the movie, that payoff is just so fantastic. And
Thank you.
All the little draws that you do. So yeah, it was a fantastic trailer because it really set the tone for the mystery of what this movie is going to be. And I still was as shocked as probably anybody while watching this movie, because every time something was being unveiled, I'm like, I didn't see that coming. I didn't see that coming at all.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, that's a tough needle to thread for sure. I wish I could say that it was like first draft, perfect. But like, when you're juggling that many genres, it's a lot of rewriting and figuring out like, when are we introducing a new genre too early, and when's the twist being paid off? Like, when are we like leaning too far in like the Easter egg where we're actually like, maybe tipping our hand too early, and that's one is in the writing process, but then also how test screenings are so invaluable, because you get to be there with the audience and be like, oh, they're picking up on this right here. We need to dial this back.
And you talked about how those moments are so fantastic. I'm assuming you've had a chance to watch this movie with a bunch of people now. What has been your favorite reaction to some of those pivotal moments that kind of happen in the film?
Well, I mean, I'm not going to, because the last trailer kind of spoiled everything. I'm never going to have that pure, like, everyone in the audience not knowing what the reveal is. But I did get that one screening in Beyond Fest where no one in the audience knew. And so when the big reveal happened, it was just like collective gasps. And it's just like, it was euphoric, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I need to." I knew that we were gonna drop that like in the trailer, so I consciously was like, "I have to bottle this up. I have to remember this, because this is not gonna happen. This is not gonna happen anymore." So that was great. But then, like seeing it with audiences that I know have seen it, like maybe a second or third time, or also seen the trailer and they know it, like the laughs that you've kind of forget about, like it's really magical to be in a theater with people watching this movie that are expecting it to just be kind of a straight horror movie, and then it, the elements of like there's comedic elements in it, there's humor, and seeing them like slowly winning them over and be like, okay, like they are now like understanding that this isn't just your typical horror movie. This is gonna zig and zag and swerve, and maybe like I'm sure you guys are the same way. When you're watching a twist movie, you are like looking at everyone, like everyone is under a microscope, and you're trying to figure out what the twist is. But I think because we reveal that she's a robot so early, suddenly people go like, well, I don't know what this movie is now. Like, I'm going to sit back and just let myself be immersed in the story, and just let the twists and turns come, and I'll enjoy it. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think for ourselves, we put our guards down after that first reveal. And after that, we're like, okay, well, I think we know where this movie's going. And then you have the other big drop that happens, and then you keep dropping more stuff on us. And I was like, okay, I don't know. I don't know where we're going now. And it's just that ride that you're unexpecting. And it was just so much fun to get that happen.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
We have to talk about Sophie Thatcher and Jack Quaid in this film, who are just so damn good together in this movie. What was it like working with them to bring Iris and Josh to life?
Magic. It was just, I mean, I wish that I could say like, oh, I'm this brilliant director that crafted those performances, and I would whisper metaphors into their ears, and they would just like discover who the character was in the moment. But it's just, you just hire two amazing actors, and you just sit back and you just let them do their thing. Like, your job as a director isn't to be like, this is the vision, this is what we do. You really just create guardrails. You're like, this is like one boundary, this is the other boundary. Within here, have fun, play around. I'll tell you when you've drifted too far into, if you're doing comedy, if you're making a joke too obvious, if it's reaching, if it feels sweaty. Yeah, and just letting them have fun and play, and they'll come up with things that you never in a million years had thought of, like Sophie's movements. Like we didn't have a discussion about like how she moves, and like it's like this delicate balance of like it's off but it's not off, like her just her walking. And I remember when she first did that, I was like, God, Sophie walks weird. It didn't even occur to me, because she's such a good actress. It didn't even occur to me that was intentional. And then realizing, oh, wait a minute, this is someone that understands the character down to like every little movement. And like she's so good with her mannerisms and her ability to, she can cry on command, and she can do a single tear on command. And I don't know if this is true or not, but I think that she can pick which eye it comes out. I think she can go like, which do you want to tear out of this eye or this eye? Because there are moments in the movie where she's supposed to, cry and just one single tear. And we're shooting it. I'm like, okay, we'll probably have to have the makeup artist come in and blow that. Like they have this special thing that they blow in the eye to make them, cry a single tear. She didn't need that. She did that in the moment, and it drops, and it's like it hung on her cheek in like just the right spot. So yeah, for me, working with them was just, like it was fun from beginning to end, because they're so good at what they do.
That's magic. Yeah. And I think of just the way she plays it, where the intelligence, when she has like when her intelligence gets higher, it's like that she acts differently, and like and you see those little nuances, and then her hand over the fire, and like there's such incredible just like depth to both their performances, and Jack, I think, is just having a blast in this movie. It's just so fun to see what they brought to this.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Well, Drew, thank you so much again for your time. We had such a blast watching this movie, and we're so excited that it's coming out at such a fun time of the year too, with Valentine's Day, and a lot of people are going to have a really, really wicked time watching this movie. So thank you again for your time, and we hope to get to talk to you again in the future.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.